Esteury Ruiz, 23-year-old, 6 foot, a little light on the weight, 169 pounder, out of the Dominican Republic. Esteury Ruiz, I know you are and have been a big fan before I think anybody else knew who he even was. So I'm going to take a back seat on this one just a little bit because I know how fond of him you are. Please take it away.
So it's interesting you say that because I actually think I was a little late to the game on Esteury Ruiz. But at some point you have to come around to guys that are just blowing the doors off. And I think that's what Esteury Ruiz did this year. So forget the rest of his career right now. I just want to walk you through 2022.
It's insane. It really is. And I'm excited for Ross to start speaking on this because I don't think I've ever seen this profile as far as strikeouts, walks, the speed, and then a little bit of power. Ross, please give everybody exactly what I'm talking about.
All right. So he started out at AA, 23-year-old Esteury Ruiz. In 232 plate appearances, he was overmatching the level. He hit 344 with a 474 OBP and a 611 slugging percentage. Almost as many walks as strikeouts. He was promoted to AAA, where prior to his trade, he hit 315 with a 457 OBP and a 478 slugging percentage. Power came down just a hair, but I'm not even touching on the best part of his profile, which is his stolen bases. So at AA, he stole 37 bases. And then at AAA, again with the Padres prior to the trade, he stole an additional 23. He got promoted into the major leagues, so he missed some time in the minor leagues. Then he got traded. He went to the Brewers. There he finished out his season in AAA. He hit 329 there with a 402 OBP and a 459 slugging percentage. Very similar to what he did with the Padres. Stole an additional 25 bases. Overall on the season, he stole 85 bases while hitting 332 with a 447 on-base percentage and a 526 slugging percentage, 16 home runs, 85 stolen bases in the high minors. The stolen bases are absurd.
Alone, yeah. You don't even need talking. When you couple it with everything else, it's get out of here. Who are you talking about?
I haven't seen anything like that since Delino DeShields Jr. stole 101 bases and hit 12 home runs.
It's a lot.
And Delino DeShields Jr. at that point was in the low minors, and he hit 287. Esteury Ruiz is hitting 330, stealing 85 bases, hitting 16 home runs. It's really promising. Okay, so now that I've said that, I need to touch on the red flags because there are some.
Yep.
The primary one is his track record, which is fairly poor. He's always had a lot of speed, stolen a lot of bases, potential there, and decent power too, but nowhere in his career has he yet ever hit anywhere close to 332 like he did this year. So you have to wonder if there's a real adjustment there or if it was just luck. I tend to think that there was a real adjustment.
Yeah.
Because he did it consistently across levels, across teams. The guy was a hitter. Can he do it at the major league level like he did at AAA and AA? That remains to be seen. I'd be willing to take a chance on it, but I'm not going to be giving up something certain for something unknown.
Sure. I'm I'm thinking that he's starting to grow into his body now, and that's where you're starting to see that he can swing the bat and actually barrel something. That's where I'm seeing the 332 average come into play. I think he's finally growing into his body at 23 years old.
You could be right on that. I don't know. What I do know, this guy projects for bonkers speed because he just stole 85 bases in the minor leagues. Not even in a full season of plate appearances because he was in the major leagues there too. He could have stole 100 if he was in the minors the entire season. But what always kind of scares me off of these guys is his ranking. 1/5 of his ranking is based on that stolen base projection. If he can't hit at the major league level, it doesn't matter if he can steal bases.
He's showing enough on base percentage to be able to reflect that, though, right? I mean, even if he did, yeah. I mean, granted, we want him to stay up in the high averages. Yeah, we want him to stay in the high averages and stuff like that. But he's starting to show a really nice eye in the plate. So if the average did dip to a 250 range, at least he's got the eye to still get on base.
Well, he gets a comp to Deion Sanders.
Oh, jeez.
Who's a great NFL player and an okay major leaguer too. He's fast, that's for sure. But his bat was a little shaky, and I think that's the concern we're highlighting with Esteury Ruiz. That's a really good comp.
I think it's really good too. Just massively athletic freak.
Yeah. So we'll see how it plays out. I hope if he ends up, I mean, if he's a hitter and he's got decent power now, like he showed this year, this guy is a fantasy baseball league winner. If he's more like his historical bat, what he's shown in the past, and he's got the speed, we know he's got the speed.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a Billy Hamilton. Billy Hamilton never had a season like Esteury Ruiz did with the bat, though, this year. And certainly didn't have the power that Esteury Ruiz has shown. So I'd be more willing to put my cards behind Esteury Ruiz on being successful and being a stolen base cog than a guy like Billy Hamilton, based on the fact that he has power and he hit 330 in the high minor leagues. And there's no big red flags with the strikeout rate or anything like that. If your leagues are not valuing this guy as a top end minor leaguer, go get him. Yeah. Go get him. Because I think a lot aren't.
My floor for Esteury Ruiz is Ramil Tapia. A ceiling, who knows? With what we have going on in the majors right now, we could see 80 stolen bases a year. Go get him. I'm all in. Esteury Ruiz, Milwaukee Brewers, go get him.
If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and of course visit our website, scoutthestatline.com for more.